Yo, what is up? We are back with a new video and I've got the MH-01 Pro from RAWM today. This is of course an updated version of the original MH-01. This is the Pro version, and what it actually means is it's just updated with a 3950 sensor and a 52840 Nordic MCU. Let's pull it out of the box. I got the one in black, first time seeing it as well. It is literally Viper V3 Pro clone, just like the one before. What else is in the box? Let's have a look. There is a 4K dongle, or 8K dongle, sorry, some wires, some grip tape, and a manual. Let's put this aside and focus on the mouse. Now, the old MH-01 Pro had a 3395 hot swappable. This is literally the same thing. Hot swappable means these switches can be swapped out by removing this pad and then unscrewing the base, sliding it out, and these switches will be hot swappable with other mechanical switches. These come with, of course, the Huano green shell white dots, if I'm not mistaken, transparent green shell white dots. Again, 3950 means it's updated. Let's check out the weight. The weight remains the same, 69 grams, just like the one with the 3395, but that's not a big issue. It also has a DPI button. This is a tri-mode, which means you got 2.4G connection, and you have Bluetooth DPI adjustment here, on-off button switches here. This video is going to come in two parts. Right now I'm doing the unbox for you guys and my initial impression. This is what it looks like. They do not make the hot swappable. They're not actually really promoting this hot swappable feature, even though it is hot swappable. As you can see, it comes with feet that you need to pry open in order to expose the screws before you can actually hot swap the switches out here. So this is not really friendly. If you really want your customers to hot swap your switches, make it easy access for them. Either drill holes in the skates, or use dot skates, or just make those screw holes accessible. Now, one thing I must note about RAWM mice is the screw holes are metal lined, which means you're not going to strip them out if they were just plastic like some other mice. When you unscrew them and you tighten them again, you might strip out the plastic of the standoffs or the base. The only issue is you need to keep replacing this PTFE feet, and that is like the only downside about the hot swapping mechanic, or the hot swapping feature of this mouse. Now, this is an 8K mouse. It comes with an 8K dongle, 52840 Nordic MCU. It claims to have 165 hours of battery life in 1K. It does have a web driver, so if you are concerned about downloading software that you might not trust, RAWM has got you covered. This is a pretty good mouse, a little bit on the heavier side than what we're used to, I suppose, in 2025. But the good news is this does come with a 600 milliamp battery, and that is why it is on the heavier side. The 600 milliamp battery is the one that's going to get you through weeks and weeks of battery life. So I suppose that is the positive. You can look at that. Yeah, so I'll see you in a week or two, and we'll talk more about the RAWM. Hey, what is up? I'm back after 1.5 months. I have reviewed the version 1 of this mouse almost 9 months ago. This is the updated MH-01 Pro from RAWM. Now, in this version 2, the specs have been upgraded to 3950s, Nordic MCUs, but everything else is generally staying the same. It's 70 grams in the weight, largely because of the whopping 600 milliamp battery. It does have this hot swappable feature, but it does not make it easy to access because you need to rip out these skates and then replace them with something else aftermarket or whatnot. So it's not really friendly for you know, removing the shell and swapping out the switches. The good thing is once you're inside the mouse, you just pull the switches out and it's very easy to just change it to something else. Just pull it out and stick it back in. There's no soldering, there's nothing difficult to do to swap out the switches. Of course, this is a Viper V3 Pro inspired shape. Very familiar, very comfortable in the hand. It's like a millimeter smaller at the waist. Let me just measure this for you and show it to you. There you go, 57.3. Viper V3 is like 59. But you know, you can feel that the curve is just a little bit more than the Viper V3 Pro. It's very similar in the hand, but right there you can feel that cut. It is actually in some ways nicer than the Viper V3 Pro, to be honest with you. That's just how I feel about it. The build quality itself is phenomenal. Well, it better be. It's got 15 grams more plastic than a regular Viper V3 Pro, so it's going to feel like a solid G Pro Superlight in the hand. Here, I was going to bring the G Pro Superlight to show you guys. So in the hand, it feels just like G Pro Superlight in terms of the build quality. It's just as heavy, you know, that 60 gram, 70 gram kind of weight. So you have that solid feeling in the hand. The coating is exactly what you expect from black rubberized mice. It does attract some smudges. It does attract the oils in your hand. If I'm being honest with you, if you take a look at the surface of the mouse itself, you can still see it's very dry, and it kind of repels that oily, sweaty residue that you leave in the mouse. Contrary to that, let me just show you the Lamzu. You can see a lot of difference, right? The Lamzu, it does not dissipate, it stays there on the surface, but on the RAWM you can see that it's very dry looking. Even though I'm using it, you know, there is oil from my hand, there's smudges from the sweat, but it dissipates very quickly and it's gone. While on the RAWM you can see, on the Lamzu Inca, you can see it's just there permanently until you wipe it off. So that is the one of the good things about the coating, I suppose. And the buttons itself, they are crispy, they are spammable. One green shell, white dots. Let me just give you a sound test. Not my favorite switches. I'd rate them about like 7 out of 10. The side buttons, they're regular side buttons. They do sink in a little bit and they do feel a bit squishy if you're like depressing them deep into the cavity. They're not as solid as Vipers that have like something at the back stopping it from going any further. So, but you know, in normal operation where you normally use it, it's not going to be any problem. They feel no worse than any other mid-price mice. I don't have any issue with it at all. The feet itself are PTFE. They work as intended. Not the best, but they are very serviceable, if that makes any sense. The only downside is that it does not accommodate those of us who like to tinker with the switches. We would have to, like I mentioned, we have to replace that PTFE feet every time you want to open up the mouse and swap out the switches, or alternatively you can rip it out and just use dots and avoid the screw holes and just keep those screw holes accessible all the time. So that's about the other option you could do. In terms of performance, there's nothing to report about the performance. Everything works as it should. It's an old shape with an updated internal. I'm a little disappointed that they did not reduce the weight to something in the sub 50 gram. Otherwise, the 58 price tag is the most attractive feature of the mouse. I think $58, you are getting a banger deal. Very solid with web user interface that's highly customizable, and if you're okay with the extra 15 gram heavier, then this is a smashing good deal. Anyway, that's my video on the RAWM MH-01 Pro. Hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information, and I'll see you on the next one.